We start this Friday with a first-hand account of what it was like for families to escape from those incredible flash floods that exploded along Victoria's Great Ocean Road.
Today, the clean-up was underway after cars and caravans were washed away at Wye River, Cumberland River and Lorne. You can see the force of the water shattering these ones as they crashed into a bridge. Tonight, we bring you the story of John, a grandfather who ran to help those in harm's way and then needed to be rescued himself by helicopter.
Joining us now are friends Sammy Moncrief and Pete Clinkerberry, who were stuck right in the middle of all this. We're looking right now at video of what was your campsite at the Cumberland River Holiday Park. Sammy, you had your kids there, including baby Mabel, who's with you now. How quickly did this come up? Was there anything you could do?
No, it was like within 10 minutes. It just came up really quickly. You couldn't get out, no one could get out. So we all had to pretty much run up the hill and just try to stay high.
Seek refuge,
Up high ground, yeah.
Pete, we've seen the caravans getting smashed, the cars out to sea. Do you know what's happened to all your belongings?
We were just watching them go down the river and hearing them smash on the bridge. We heard from someone that one of the people who lost their van, that was actually their house. They'd been travelling around, and so that's, absolutely devastating. So, we haven't been able to get back in and do a full assessment of what the damage is, but, we've done better than a lot, and I guess there was no, damage to humans. Everyone survived.
Was safe, yeah.
But, if it was 2 in the morning, it would have been a complete different story.
Did you worry your life could be in danger or the lives of people around you?
Not me personally, but I did look at people that had camped in front of my site down on the embankment on the river. And like I was saying, if this happened in the middle of the night, they would have had a matter of minutes before they were swept away. But on reflection, it's really scary how quickly it moved. And you're not just talking about water. There's huge logs going down from up the hill, huge 4-metre trees and stuff. So
yeah, and the caravans.
And the caravans, yeah, the caravans and cars.
Piling up,
it's,
not even getting past the bridge. And,
it's insane. Just something else. Yeah.
Sammy, your dad was airlifted off the roof of the kiosk of your holiday park. How's he doing? And what happened?
Yeah, so typical dad, he's always one to help others before himself. He ran towards the flood just to help evacuate a young family there, and then obviously didn't have enough time to get up to the hill, so he took refuge into the kiosk and then had to climb up onto the roof, and then there was quite a few people there that helped him.
And he didn't run. He needs a walking stick, so
Yeah, it's quite fragile.
So he's a bit of a hero in a way.
So he just jumped in. His first instinct was to help. Did you get any warning this was coming?
No. So I've heard some people say that we were told from 12 o'clock onwards, but that's not true at all. Even the management weren't
they weren't
told.
aware.
Yeah, they weren't aware
so
until the very last second.
And they did run an evacuation sort of sound for a little while, but by that stage it was too late. Everything was pretty much underwater, so quick. And it's not anyone's fault, but I think in the future maybe there could be some sort of better system that is set up to warn people. Like I said, if it happened in the middle of the night, it would have been a tragedy, not just a disaster.
Oh, I can only imagine. Now, you guys were eventually bussed out to safety, but what was that like, just watching it all unfold right in front of you?
Lots of kids, and we were on the mountain and not knowing what was happening, and it was the rain was pouring down.
Yeah.
No shelter, but we all band together, and everyone was safe, so that was really all that matters.
Kind of a testament to the Aussie spirit. We're going through it. It's absolute chaos, but everyone's stuck together and sort of make light of a situation. Once the carnage started and I wasn't up the hill, there was nothing else to do but have a beer and get the fire going in the hut to try and dry out, and just see what the next few hours had in store. It's crazy.
Sammy, Pete, baby Mabel, we're glad you're all safe, and thanks for speaking with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Cheers, thank you.